What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my NHL 2021 season power rankings for the regular season. This is week 2 of the power rankings. There are multiple changes to my power rankings, so make sure to stay tuned to see all of the teams that either moved up or down in my rankings. Now, before we get into today's video, I've got my socials and my Twitch down here below me, so if you guys would like to check that out, feel free to do so. And do not leave without leaving a like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So, starting off with the North Division. The North Division I had the most movement in my power rankings with. I've really enjoyed watching the North Division, seeing some phenomenal hockey out of all these Canadian teams. Now, the only two teams that did not move are at 6 and 7. The Vancouver Canucks at 6 and the Ottawa Senators at 7. The only reason why is because, well, they aren't performing like these other teams. Now, Ottawa is giving it their best. They really are. They're really trying to put up a fight. Vancouver can be much better than they are right now. I know that they're capable of more. But Edmonton moving from 4 down to 5. And the big reason why they are is because their goaltending. Their goaltending's a mess right now. I think they definitely need to make a move to get a goaltender. That's one of the things that they have always been lacking. With Connor McDavid there for 5 years is a #1 goalie. And maybe even a little bit more scoring help. I'm not sure how they would do it, as I mean, that really the only other big assets that they have besides McDavid and Draisaitl, which are untouchable with the Edmonton Oilers, is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Kyle Yamamoto. I would not use Kyle Yamamoto in any trade. He's part of their feature. Now, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I would consider moving, but for the right price. Now, at number 4, Winnipeg, they move up 1, and a big reason why they're moving up 1 is that deal they just made for Pierre-Luc Dubois. That gives them more, it's a much needed piece. Very, very needed piece, because, I mean, Brian Little, he was a great center for them. Paul Stastny doing what he could. But having Mark Scheifele and Pierre-Luc Dubois down the middle, that's going to be unreal. And Winnipeg fans are absolutely going to love it. I mean, they still have Kyle Connor, Blake Wheeler, Nikolai Ehlers. Vesalainen's going to get some more time. So I think that Winnipeg definitely deserves that bump in the power rankings. Plus, they've been playing pretty well. But moving down 1 from 2 to 3 is the Calgary Flames. Now, Calgary playing very solid. They could be doing a little bit better. Just when I think it's when Big Save Dave is in net, they're kind of really getting used to Markstrom. Markstrom had a shutout in his first game for Calgary. That was absolutely phenomenal, the game that he put on. But I mean, Calgary, definitely a top 3 team. I think that they're going to be a top 3 team in the North Division all year long. But moving down from 1 is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto, they're being exploited. It's showing that they have holes. And when the big 4 there, well, big 5 of Tavares, Nylander, Marner, Matthews, not O'Reilly, but Morgan Riley, if they can't get going, they are hosed. They've already waived Jason Spezza. They've already waived Aaron Dell. So, I mean, they're not really liking what they're seeing at the moment, management-wise. If I were them, I wouldn't either. I mean, they really should only have the 1 overtime loss to Montreal, because I think that Montreal should have beaten them that game. But they did come away with the win. But they are 4-2-0 at the moment. And I definitely think that they are much better than they have been playing. They are, in my opinion, the best team on paper in the North Division. But moving up to number 1 from 3 is the Montreal Canadiens. Right now, that team looks scary good. All the moves that they made through the offseason really paying off. I'm glad to see it. Montreal has deserved a winner for a while. Carey Price playing like Carey Price. Shea Weber looks great. Romanov, the rookie, looking great. Tyler Toffoli with a hat trick the other night. That's why they signed him. They need goal scoring. Anderson looking pretty solid as well. Nick Suzuki, that kid is a lot of fun to watch. So, I mean, right now, Montreal's got everything right going for them. So, hopefully they can keep this up because I absolutely love what I'm seeing from the Montreal Canadiens. And they are now sitting atop my rankings in the North Division. Now, moving on to the West Division. There wasn't as much movement, but there was one key swap that happened in my rankings. Now, at 8, San Jose still there. Anaheim and LA switched. Anaheim was at 7. They moved down. I mean, they were at 6. They moved down to 7. And LA moved up from 7 to 6. Just because, I mean, LA, they are showing a little bit of life. But Anaheim, I definitely think, still needs to bring up Trevor Zegras, have Jamie Drysdale play. Nothing can hurt them at this point. They need to get these kids time. They need to get them used to the NHL style of play because those two are the future of the franchise. Like, they're going to have massive impacts for the Anaheim Ducks. And, I mean, San Jose is San Jose. They did get a win over the Blues, which, gosh, I mean, that from a Blues fan's perspective, it was tough seeing. But, I mean, it's San Jose still. They're not that good. But moving to 5, Arizona staying there. Arizona proving that they could make the playoffs or they could not make the playoffs. They are playing pretty solid right now. I think that Phil Kessel is having a good season. I think that the scoring's pretty spread out with everyone, so everyone's contributing there in Arizona, which is what they need for them to succeed. Because when they made that deal for Taylor Hall, they were hoping he would come in, just utterly annihilate everyone for them, and it didn't happen. They're playing a team game this year, and I really like what I'm seeing from Arizona. At number 4, I wish I could have moved them up, but I still need to see a little bit more from Minnesota to move them up. They look really good right now, though. They're second in the standings currently in the West Division to Vegas, and they look really, really good. They really do. The depth is there for them this year. The defense playing very solid. Cam Talbot and Kakinen, they are playing very, very solid as well. I mean, Kirill Kaprizov, what more can you want from a rookie in his first week really in the NHL? Very, very good. And I think it's only a matter of time that they move up in my power rankings and that they really start proving to everyone, okay, we are for sure a team that everyone should be looking out for this year. Staying at number 3, though, is the St. Louis Blues. Now, the Blues, they need to get consistent or else they will be moving down the power rankings here. They definitely, they can't beat the Avs like they did night 1, then get mollywopped the next game, then win the next game, and then lose in a shootout to the San Jose Sharks. That cannot happen. If that happens again this upcoming week, they will most definitely be moving down in the power rankings. They definitely need to show some consistency, and the players, they need to start producing, because right now, in my opinion, the 2 best players that I've seen on the Blues, being that I watch every game, Jordan Kyrou and Justin Falk. And last year, Justin Falk was nothing to write home about, but this year he has looked great. And Jordan Kyrou looking really, really good. I think Jordan Kyrou is making his line look good, really. But, I mean, Braden Shen, James Schwartz, they are looking pretty solid as well. Ryan O'Reilly needs to pick it up a little bit. Colton Parayko, Vince Dunn, Torrey Krug, Perron. Robert Thomas was looking good early, but he's kind of been it's been a lackluster performance the past 2 games, but he can definitely pick it up. If everyone on the Blues really picks up their game to where they're playing like Jordan Kyrou is right now offensively and like Justin Falk defensively, I think that they'll be fine. Bennington has been standing on his head at times, but also at times just letting in goals that us Blues fans know that he can stop. But they are staying at 3. Moving down from 1 to 2, though, is the Colorado Avalanche, because they can be beaten. They can be beaten. They are 4-2, and one thing that they're going to need is Nathan MacKinnon to produce night in, night out. He needs to get points every single night for them to finish top of this West Division. They've got Bowen Byron playing now, so that'll be a good boost to them on defense. I think that he should have been playing from the get-go, but he did need to get acclimated to the team at first, and now he is, as in his first NHL game, he got his first NHL career point by assisting Mikko Rantanen. Great pass that he had. But moving up from 2 to 1 is the Vegas Golden Knights. They look very, very good. Now I don't know how they, I don't know how they wouldn't look good, because if you look at the roster on paper, it's one of the best in the NHL, and you have probably the best goalie tandem in the NHL with Robin Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury. So, I mean, Vegas, props them for what they have in Vegas right now. I mean, it's just, it's kind of hard to believe that that NHL teams have allowed this to happen with how good they are just coming into the league. Because, I mean, it could have been a Capital situation when they came into the league and they were just abysmal. But, I mean, Vegas came in, made it to the Cup their first year, and they have been a Cup contender ever since. I mean, they are very, very smart there in Vegas, and they definitely are the top dogs right now in the West Division. Now moving over to the Central, there were a few moves here in my power rankings. Moving down from 7 to 8 is the Chicago Blackhawks. They look helpless, folks. They do not look good right now whatsoever. But moving up from 8 is the Detroit Red Wings. Bobby Ryan, absolutely love what he's doing there in Detroit. Absolutely love it. They are playing some solid hockey. They're 2-3 at the moment. I'm not saying that they can push for playoffs whatsoever. I definitely think they're going to miss it. But it's good to see that even though they know that they are bottom dwellers in that division with the teams they have to play against, that they're still going to put up a fight. And I think that Detroit fans are going to love that they are going to put up a fight the best that they can against a lot of these teams. Staying at 6 is the Nashville Predators. It's just when I watch the Preds, it's like, cool. I love Roman Josi. I like Philip Forsberg, but right now it's kind of bland hockey, what I'm watching from them. But at any moment, they could explode. That's how Nashville has always been. So right now they are staying at 6, but if they do tend to explode here in the future, they will most likely rise up the power rankings. But staying at 5 as well is the Florida Panthers. I think once Bobbs gets back, going to be a big boost to the team. But as of right now, I mean, they've only played 2 games. They are 2-0. But, I mean, they're definitely going to need the scoring to come from everywhere. And being that Keith Yandel got on the score sheet, that's huge, because I think all of the rumors are now dead, and that he can now focus on hockey and focus on being that team leader that they need there in Florida. Staying at 4, the Dallas Stars. They're most likely going to be moving up the power rankings next week because they have played 1 game and still show us that they can score. They had 7 goals in that game, and it was just an offensive showcase. Like, they looked really, really good. So definitely look for the Dallas Stars to move up in my power rankings next week. The Carolina Hurricanes moved down from 2 to 3, and the reason why is because, yes, they could be playing a tiny bit better. They are the Carolina Hurricanes. They're phenomenal. But the reason why they moved down to 3 is because of what Columbus just did in that trade with the Winnipeg Jets. and getting Patrick Laine and Jack Roslovic. They were already a playoff contender, but now they are a for sure playoff contender with Patrick Laine, Jack Roslovic being added to the roster. I think that's a very good move, not only for the Jets, but for Columbus. The only thing that needs to happen is that Patrick Laine and Torts are on the same page. Everything will go smoothly, if so. And I definitely think that Columbus can give Tampa Bay a hard time, as they just beat them 5-2 today at the time of recording this video. And staying at number 1 is the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, it's really hard to move them. And I mean, it's Tampa Bay, people. Like, they just won the cup. They won it for a reason. They're absolutely stacked. Even without Kucherov, they still look like world beaters. So, I mean, props to Tampa Bay for being as consistent as they are. And them, and in the East with Philadelphia, they stayed at number 1, whereas in the North and the West did move around. Now, getting into the East, the Buffalo Sabres are moving down from 4 to 8. They had a good game, and since then it's kind of been scary what you've been seeing. But now that Ullmark is back, they should be getting some wins. They may have to get some line changes going on there in Buffalo, but Dylan Cousins scoring his first career goal in the NHL. That is great. The workhorse from Whitehorse finally here, and he is here to stay. The New York Rangers staying at 7. I got to see more from my Rangers. Got to. And Lafreniere needs to get on the score sheet ASAP. Capo Caco looking pretty good, though. Tony DeAngelo looks like a mess. Adam Fox looking great. Point per game right now. I mean, they just need to get some things sorted out. It will happen as we are only going into the second, third week in the league. So everything is fine as of right now. No need to hit that panic button. But Boston moving up from 8 to 6, and they are probably going to be moving up even more in the power rankings, as David Pastrnak is most likely a week away from returning. So that is going to be a great boost to the Bruins. At first, you could really tell that they were missing Torrey Krug, Chara, Pasta, but they are picking it up. Jake DeBrusk with a great shootout goal the other night. They'll get there. They'll prove to be the Bruins that we all know. The New Jersey Devils, though, moving up from 6 to 5. Absolutely love what I'm seeing from the New Jersey Devils. And Jack Hughes looking like a number 1 pick now. So that is phenomenal for them. Pittsburgh moving down from 2 to 4. It's good that they now know basically that Casey DeSmith is going to be the starter, even though they moved out Matt Murray because Matt Murray was the problem. Tristan Jarry was the future, and now apparently Casey DeSmith is the starting goalie and Tristan Jarry is the backup. I mean, Sidney Crosby once again doing all he can. Chris Letang with a great goal. I mean, Pittsburgh, they're going to all get on the same page eventually, hopefully. But I definitely still think that they are playoff contenders. The Washington Capitals have looked great. Just a stupid move by what was it? It was 4 players. It was Kuznetsov, Orlov, Samsonov, and Ovi not abiding by the COVID rules that they have in place, and cost the Caps $100,000. And I believe it's like a 3-game suspension for all of them. So that will hurt them a little bit, but I think the Caps will be fine during that time. The New York Islanders moving up from 3 to 2, and actually the Caps moved up from 5 to 3. Forgot to say that. But the Islanders moving up from 3 to 2. The Islanders look really, really good. I'm glad that Matt Barzal is signed, so the future is intact there. Hopefully Ilya Sorokin gets some more time. I think that he is a very, very good goaltender, and that he can definitely make that goalie tandem there in New York kind of like the one in Vegas. So hopefully they definitely give him some more time. But the Islanders definitely looking like playoff contenders, and still sitting at 1, the Philadelphia Flyers. They're really good right now, and unless a big injury happens, I don't see anything changing that, or if they go into a slump. But I mean, Carter Hart's Carter Hart. Claude Giroux is the leader he is, and the team is very well rounded. So, I mean, you can't really take much away from the Philadelphia Flyers right now. But, I mean, this is the power rankings for week number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.